Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Mental Mobility Podcast, episode number 117. We're going to talk about change and how people hate when you decide to change, when people don't like when you decide to be better, and why people hate and dislike it and really get frustrated when you decide to change your life. So if you're ready to listen to this, you're ready to hang on tight, wait for it, hang on out. Mental Mobility Podcast number 117. I'm excited. Hope you're excited. I'm ready. You're ready. Welcome. Let's go. Hey, what's going on, everybody? And welcome back to the Mental Mobility Podcast, episode number 117. I'm so happy for you guys to be here. I'm so happy that you guys have signed on. Here's what we're going to talk about. We've been talking about change, like changing your life and making changes in your life and why you want to change or why I needed to change. But the thing is, what's going to happen is you're going to have a lot of people that are not going to support this change. And most of them will be the ones closest to you. Now, there's a reason behind that. And I'll tell you in a second. Now, there's a reason behind this. And I never even thought about this. I never knew about it until I heard someone say it. I heard a lady in a podcast somewhere, or I think it was a TED Talk. And she said it, and like it struck a chord to where it made so much sense. Right? That people are not going to hate. Right? We always say they hate. They're going to hate on you for changing. They're going to hate on you for doing this differently. It's not hate, right? They just may not agree. They just may not be on your side the whole way. And why is that? Why don't people support the things that you do when you decide to change? Because you are killing off the person that they love. To me, that made so much sense when I heard that. Because the person that they loved was the person that you were. Right? They loved you for that. They loved the way you were. They loved the way you acted. They loved the things you do or did. And now you're going to change that person so you could become better? Well, now their life or their reality is disrupted. And this is a normal process. And is it fair in either direction? No, it's not fair in either direction. But we always have to look at what's best for you. Right? What's best for you to become better? What's best for you to live your new life? Or live your life. Because a lot of times we actually live lives that we don't even believe is ours. We end up getting stuck in this cycle of, is this what I really want to do? Is this all I know? And some of us stay there and are perfectly happy, and that's fine. But if you're not, and you're one of those people like I was, where I just know I needed change and I need to get out of there and I needed to do something different and I needed something, or else I was absolutely going to kill myself. But a lot of people aren't going to support that. They're going to try to hold you and they're going to try to keep you where you were, but try to change you in a way they want you to change, or what they think you should do to become better. Well, a lot of times, if you sit down in the quiet, in the dark, in the movement, and think about who you really want to be or what you really want, you know. We're just afraid of that constraint. We're just afraid of that opinionated people that don't want you to change because you're killing that person. Or you're literally killing off the person that they love. Everyone that likes you for something or admires you for something or has a great time while you're doing it, that person that they may believe is the best version of you is not the best version that you believe of yourself. And that's why you probably are watching this video and want to change and want to do things differently. And it may stink for that person because your actions of deciding to change is killing off their best friend. You're killing off their buddy that is a huge part of their reality, right? And this might be you. I might also be talking to you, the person listening. You may be the buddy that is not supporting or resisting someone that is trying to change, or may support them in their change, but don't really want them to because it's going to affect your life. And rightfully so, you should be angry. Right? I know a lot of my friends are angry. Some don't talk to me no more. Some of them don't text. So that's fine. And it's fine. You know, it's not like I'm mad or I hold a grudge against them. No, it's a completely different time. It's a completely different, I don't know what to say. I don't know how to say it in English. I'd say I can. Someone told me, my friend told me to say that. I can't pull that one off. But we're trying to become better, and it's just hard to when you have so much resistance around you to not do it. From your best friends to your parents to your spouses, sometimes even your kids. I don't know. I don't know the age where you're at. But imagine like your world for how many years has consisted of this job, this going out on Friday, this going out on Saturday, having a great time watching football games and doing all these things. And now all of a sudden you're like, I can't do this anymore because of something inside me says I cannot. Otherwise, it's going to be bad. Like, I need to do something different. I have to move and change. I always say I have to move because that's what we did, right? We had to move and change because there just is something that we know of is not feeling good. You feel stagnant. You feel like you're not there, and it's not in the direction where a lot of people take it very selfishly towards themselves, where it's like, oh my God, they're moving because of me, or they're moving because I did this. No, most people understand intuitively what they want, but a lot of them don't act on the feeling that they give themselves. And then that person that is resisting the change or doesn't want them to is just upset because they're losing their best friend. Can you imagine that? Like, that's hard. That's hard to think of. And when I heard that, I didn't really, it just clicked so fast where I was like, oh my God, that makes so much sense that someone would feel this way because, yeah, I even remember when we moved, I got a text message from a really great friend, and she told me that, like, as much as she tried to support the fact that I was leaving, it was very devastating for her. It was very hard for her to go through this. And me, right, it was hard for me to even see that because I was so fixated in changing and moving in the direction and going forward with the choices that I'm making, that there's times that I selfishly have to just, or even if you're in this process, you selfishly have to do it, no matter how hard it's going to be for the other people. Because at the end of the day, it's for the best of you, right? That was for the best of me. And I understand that it was painful. I understand that it was hard for them to let go as much as it was for me. But in that moment, I never even thought that I was hurting them that bad when we made the decision to leave. You know, I talked about it and talked about moving and what we have and what we're going to have and what we're going to get, because I want to be positive in the direction that, you know, this huge change from moving from New Jersey to Vegas was going to be okay, because we were unsure. We were very uncertain. In New Jersey, we were certain. We had my family, you got friends, no matter what, we can't fail. Even if I had no money, I'd have somewhere to stay. It was safe. Right? There was no way that I could have failed in New Jersey. And I was failing miserably in life in New Jersey, failing miserably. But I would always have a support. I would have a crutch. I would always have a person that I can go to turn to. But am I actually growing? You know, am I actually growing by not challenging myself to do something different? Not challenging myself to move forward in the direction that I believe is going to be better, or at least give it a shot. And we did that. And we're here. And we're moving forward. Is it perfect? No. Not 100. No, not at all. It is not. Do we have any support? No, we don't have any support. Thank goodness we have my brother. You know, thank goodness I have my mother. Thank goodness we have Nat's mom and Nat's brother. And I know that even if I needed to, I can always ask for help. And the people in New Jersey would single-handedly throw down whatever I needed in an instant. And I'm very fortunate for that, because I know I've built those relationships with people and I've given them the trust that I've given them, and I know that I'll always be okay. But for me to grow, I had to get out. I had to move away. I had to find distance from everybody in order for me to find who I am again. Because I'm not Crank Pete. I'm not a personal trainer. I do live in a trailer park with my mom. That's stupid. It's from... I did get shot with all three of you bums. Is that what they said? It's 8 Mile? No? No one else? Okay. That was the first part in my head. But anyway, it's difficult to really stay and understand how someone feels when you are changing yourself. You know, and I don't want you to be like, hey, let's think about the other person while I'm trying to do something for myself. No. You know, but if it's like your immediate, then yeah, think. But for the most part, if it's something that you feel very drawn to, a decision that you're very drawn to, a decision that is safe, healthy, and, you know, not a decision to kill someone. Like, you know what I mean? You know what I'm trying to say? I'm not looking for fucking, you know, a deadly sin here. We're talking about things to better yourself that people may not like. Like an easy one's like, okay, I want to stop drinking, so I'm going to stop hanging out with my friends on Friday and Saturday. You know how hard that is? Like, that's a very difficult one because they're going to judge you. Hey, what do you mean? Just quit drinking. What do you mean you're not going to hang out? What do you mean? It's so much fun. I know. But what if you decide that you don't want to do it anymore because you want to be better for yourself? You're going to get a lot of resistance. You're going to get a lot of buddies that now you're not there for. I always think of Good Will Hunting and how, like, when Ben Affleck was like, listen, if I ever ring your bell and you don't show up, I'll be the happiest man ever. And then he finally did it. One day he just got up and left Boston. Or wherever the fuck, Cambridge, Massachusetts, is that where it was? I don't know what the fuck it was. He was somewhere, I think he was at Harvard. But like one day he went to go pick him up at his house for the normal routine, to go to work, then have some beers afterwards, and he just wasn't there. Because he felt like he wanted to go find this girl. He wanted to go live a new life. And Ben Affleck was not mad. He actually smiled. And then he just drove away and carried on with his life. And that's how it should be. Right? If you make a decision to do something different, the people there, I don't think need to be upset, but they have every right to, right? Because life is now different for them. And what they thought was their reality is now broken or crushed. And that's something that they have to take time to cope with and something to move forward with. It's a process for them as well. This message or this little thing that I heard really made a lot of sense, and it resonated with me with a lot of things that went on when I moved and are going on right now when I get like text messages in a group text and then I don't respond. I just don't answer or I delete it because my energy, I don't want to expend my energy into that direction. I don't want to pull myself back into the conversation that I'm trying to avoid. I'm just saying no. And I'm just doing best for what's for me. As hard as it is for the other person or other persons. You have to be selfish at times. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with being grateful for what you have. There's nothing wrong with being appreciative for what you have. There's also nothing wrong with being appreciative and grateful for what you had. And keep it as that. But if you're trying to move forward and you're trying to do things differently, you have to understand that there's going to be some recoil. There's going to be some people that are not going to like it. Because like we said, you're crushing their reality. You're killing off their best friend. But now that's for you to make a decision. Do you want to go back to the way it was and be comfortable? Or take a shot and see what's to come? At the end of the day, they're still going to love you. At the end of the day, they're still going to be there for you. And I know that. But right now, you need that distance, time, and space in order to figure out what's best for you. And because this, I always say you, but this is literally me talking through me. Because I need time and space to figure out who I really am again. And I'm getting close. And then once I find out, I'm sure it's going to change again. But I want to thank you guys for coming out. Episode number 117 of the Jersey to Mental Mobility Podcast. Felt like a Jersey to Vegas podcast, didn't it? A Mental Mobility Podcast. Thank you guys so much for coming out, and I'll see you guys later. Make sure you guys review. Go on Spotify, review the podcast. Type a little bit if you can, please. And always follow me on Instagram and YouTube. I'll see you guys later. This is Pete from the Mental Mobility Podcast. I'll see you guys later. Peace out.